What up, it's your boy Dvrth back at it again with another video. Today we are here with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 47. Last episode we had a bunch of trickery and war tactics and a lot of plotting, I'll say, to get ready for the promised day. Still not 100% sure what that's going to be. We do know what it's probably going to entail, which is the opening of the portal. However, we don't exactly know what the end game is. I mean, like, we have our guesses, we have our little theories, but I'm not 100% sure if we know what is going to happen or what is going to be Father's overall goal. We ended off with what's his name? I always forget his name. Bradley. We ended off with Bradley being stranded on a railroad bridge or whatever. Of course, that's not gonna stop him. People think, or his subordinates think, that he's dead, and they're freaking out. But Father is there in the flesh, if you can call it that, in his shell. And I guess he's gonna oversee the rest of this operation, or the rest of the comings and goings of whatever happens here. So we're in a bind. We're in quite of a bind. So we're gonna hop straight into it. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. You're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Fullmetal Alchemist or something totally different, the best place to send that in is always my social media. Link's gonna be in the description, or you can just comment below. That's cool too. And if you want these episodes early, you can subscribe to my Patreon. Link's gonna be in the description for that as well. So with all that being said, let's get our headphones. Make sure they're on. Them bitches is on, and let's get into it. Oh my god, I can't wait to see Lan Fan again. Like, she has to come back, right? In all reality, she has to come back. They gave her, like, apparently she's gonna get a new arm, is she not? That was the plan. So getting Lan Fan back is probably gonna be integral to our overall the overall success of this plan, especially since Ling himself sent a secret message to her. So I think he has something cooking up when it comes to Lan Fan. Uh-oh. Mr. Ho. God. Just amazing. Good. Bink! Yep, I expected that.
That felt good.
Yeah, I expected that.
Could have at least warned me you were about to slug me, and with your metal hand too.
What you got? What you got going on?
The promised day is tomorrow.
Right, I think you need to let him in on everything as well.
Enough. I'll tell you everything.
Yep. Okay, good.
If you want to use me to get your bodies back, you can.
Are you crazy? Maybe you are a living philosopher's stone, but I'm not gonna sacrifice innocent souls. It's our fault we lost our bodies.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I don't know if we're gonna be good with that one.
Son feels that way. Need you to help me.
Help you?
I mean,
now look here. I'm gonna stop that bearded bastard, but I'm not doing it because you want me to help you. My best chance at beating this guy is to team up, and that's the only reason I'm even talking to you right now.
okay, so you'll help him. There you go. Good enough, Edward.
The guy must have had his reasons, so why don't you give him a chance to explain?
Shut up! Did you ever think
Yeah,
that I've got my reasons?
Right,
Let's
it's
hear him then. You're just stubbornly holding a grudge.
yeah.
Such a whirlwind of emotions. I can see why. The guy's a walking, talking philosopher's stone. And to make it worse, he also happens to be your father.
It's just, he's not what I was expecting.
You thought you would be a fucking monster, and he's not. He grieves, he cries.
Always a fan.
What a
Trisha,
tough,
I'm going away.
what a tough scene that was.
Wait for me.
Of course. I'll be right here.
What exactly is that for?
Man, he got changed into his red. You already know what the fuck going on. Yeah. Oh God.
Whoa. Come on, what's wrong with what you're wearing now?
That doesn't seem flashy to you?
There's a pretty good chance this is gonna be the last battle we ever fight.
Yeah.
I want to do it in style.
Oh God. Gotta do it looking like yourself.
My animal instincts tell me something good's coming, so I'll try this thing out with you.
They believe in him.
And what's your story?
Brother,
Edward, there's not out.
I thought you were with Major Miles over
Edward.
in the eastern area.
Hello,
How'd that happen?
Edward. Not Al. That's pride.
we need to talk.
Edward.
He's a...
Fucking run, Ed. Oh my God.
Consciousness with a human.
Oh my God.
Weaker.
That is insane.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Grumman will heroically come riding in on a white
Grumman, you
horse.
dick.
I'll let the youngsters dive head first into danger and do all the dirty.
Grumman.
And then I'll take my rightful place as leader of this.
This is, without a doubt, your brother's actual bio.
Oh God, yeah. But we can't fight him.
You bastard!
Or at least we're gonna have to be real careful if we do.
I need to deal with grief.
Michael, you guys should run for cover. What the? You don't waste any time!
They knew they was outclassed.
Telling us that we should stay the hell away from them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Alchemy back on the go.
Barrier's not gonna work against him.
Oh my God.
It's close.
Somebody, please. Anybody.
I think it's about time I start winning some of these fights for a change.
Use the reverse thing? What's it called?
Who shut off the light?
Use the reverse transmutation circle. I think.
Cast any shadows without a source of light, and he's just as
Oh, no, I'm a fucking idiot. He just
So we
took
got
away the
rid of
light.
him then?
No, he's just
No.
lying in wait.
Slum's lights will be on soon enough.
Pussy! Sounding like a Nazi zombie. Let's go. Make it.
That?
I know how worried you've got to be, but what if we get close to him and it turns out to be a trap?
That's true.
We've got to stay close to
Yeah,
him
that's
until
fair.
Heinkel's done with Pride. We don't
Yeah,
want to
Pride's done with
accidentally
Heinkel.
attack each other.
Oh, fuck. Gluttony! Fuck. Yeah, I knew he had to be somewhere. I wasn't sure where, but I knew he had to be somewhere.
He's relying on his sense of smell to guide him in the dark.
Right.
So right now, I'd say you're evenly matched for a fair fight.
Alright.
My animal instincts are calling me an idiot for listening to you.
What's with these animal instincts?
Oh, I guess I'm an idiot! The
Let's
mistake is
go.
mine.
Pussy, oh my.
Why, Mr. Gorilla? Weren't we sticking close to avoid attacking each other?
Why, Mr. Gorilla?
It was my body to begin with.
True.
To eat you.
And Link nice with it too, so let's remember that. Link is nice with it.
Be mad. All I want to do is eat, but you won't let me
Boy.
eat you, and I'm getting hungry.
How about you eat my dick?
So I'm just gonna have to
Oh my God, okay, I changed my mind, never mind. Shh, what the fuck? What? Whoa, who the fuck? Lan Fan?
Is there something else out there?
Lan Fan?
Sure.
Lan Fan! Oh my fucking God, that is hard as hell.
I'm glad to see you're okay. I was wondering when you'd find me. Lan Fan.
It's hard as fuck. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. Oh my God, that's a hard ass. Bro. Oh my God, that's hard as fuck, bro. Oh, that is hard, bro. Oh, that was a hard ass Instagram pic, bro. You gotta post that. Yeah, that was hard as fuck. Oh, I'm so glad that she's back, man. I'm so glad she's back. she had to come back soon, like sooner. If anything, if she didn't come back this episode, I was like, she had to come back in the next, because the promise day is getting really close. There's no way Lan Fan was going to just sit back and watch as Ling is out there fighting for his life, especially knowing like the little sign, or it's not sign, the message that he sent along and all the other stuff. Like, there was no way she was just gonna, be benched for this. She has a new arm. That bitch is hard. That shit looks hard as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god, what a great return for her. What a great return for her. For me personally, Lan Fan had a great showing, like one of the best showings for me personally, because of the whole like cutting her arm off thing. She's really capable, and to be honest, I think we've seen Lan Fan fight the most out of any female character specifically. She hard as hell. I'm not about to lie. Let me actually switch this over. I kind of forgot that what's his name, Pride, had took over Al's body. So like that came as a surprise to me, but it's gonna make things a lot harder. Well, it doesn't make things too hard actually, because all we have to do is just fight Salim himself instead of Al's body. But let's start from the beginning. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So we start off with Alphonse, Jesus fucking Christ, Edward reuniting with his father, and kind of finally getting his father to divulge all the information that he needs to know about the Promised Day and what's going to happen. As Greed said, now that everybody's being honest, let's get some honesty out of you. So Hohenheim giving them the information of like what's going down, how he came about, and all this other stuff was obviously a lot to take in. However, it was very important that they did get that information. Now, throughout these conversations and these interactions, Edward isn't exactly being as open to his father as Alphonse is. Now, a couple reasons for that, but one of the more real life reasons, and more simple reasons, is that Alphonse is the younger brother. When Hohenheim left, Alphonse didn't know. Like, Alphonse was so young. Alphonse isn't too young, but he was young enough to like be a little bit less jaded about it. And while as Edward had more time to stew on it. Now, Alphonse also has a different perspective on things because of his situation, specifically of him losing his entire body and things like that. He may be a little bit more receptive. Like, of course, he would probably be a little bit more receptive to what his father has to tell him, because he has a little bit more empathy for the situation that his father is in. But whereas, like I said, Edward is the older brother, so he has had more time of his kind of knowing that his father left, and he is also not in the same situation as Alphonse in losing his entire body, but he just lost his arm. Now, it's still horrible, his arm and leg. It's still horrible, but it's different perspectives, different strokes for different folks, all that other shit. The more important part of that is that within meeting his dad, he even says that he didn't get what he thought he would get out of him. and that's why it's so hard for him to like apologize and like pretty much reconcile with his dad, and not apologize, because he doesn't exactly need to apologize, but that's why it's so hard for him to reconcile with his dad. It's harder because it's easier to hate somebody than to love somebody, and it's harder to forgive somebody. So for Edward, it would have been easier if he would have, met his dad again. His dad was like a horrible person, and then he could change him and talk to him from there. He could talk him up. But coming to meet his dad and seeing that his dad isn't a monster, his dad isn't like a cold piece like he thought he was. He's kind of goofy. He's understanding, and he seems to be caring. So he's almost disappointed in a way to see that his dad isn't a monster, because now it's going to be a lot harder to kind of forgive him for what he did, because like I said, it would have been easier for him to meet his dad and him be a cold piece and then talk him up, than kind of like him already be reconciled with and see his dad instead of like a monster, but as a human. That was how he was coping. So now he sees that his dad has feelings. His dad loves them as much as he thought, as much as Edward thought that he didn't. It's a shock to him. I can understand how shocking that would be. It just makes things so much harder. And it makes it even harder when he gives Hohenheim the message of his wife saying that she won't be able to keep her promise and that she's going to die first. It's after hearing a story like Hohenheim's, in which I'm guessing that he told them everything. After hearing a story like Hohenheim's and then knowing that his wife died first, and now understanding how you can empathize with that, because like I said, that episode was like one of the saddest episodes. That just hurt. But now knowing how you can empathize with that, now it puts him into a precarious situation, because now he has to reconcile with himself, understanding that his dad isn't a monster, that his dad is more human than he thought. And it works in a lot of ways, because he's a homunculus. In fighting the homunculus, you see them more as monsters anyway. You don't see them much as human, but these past couple of episodes have been kind of blurring the lines of what is and what isn't. So yeah, it's a hard situation for Edward to be in, because now he is in a situation. He didn't get what he wanted. He doesn't get to be stuck up and petty about it and then feel justified. Now he'll feel even worse about being horrible to his father, because his father is just a person, but in a really bad situation. So that was cool. We still got a little bit more of minute characterization and humanization for Greed. Him, telling his subordinates in Edward and the Lion and Gorilla Man, forget their names, Heinkel and whatever his name is, telling them that, everybody having this little kind of chat about, this is why I'm doing this and this is why I'm doing this, and then Heinkel and the Gorilla guy saying, basically saying that they're in it to help because they believe in Edward, saying like, yeah, my animal senses tell me that this is going to be good. And then when you ask Greed, he's just like, I'm not telling you, which could, you could look at it as just Greed being Greed and being like, I'm the captain. I don't have to tell you shit. But it also is just him not wanting to let anybody in, because that's another way that you can make friends. It shows a little bit of weakness with Greed. I would assume that he would look at it that way. It shows a little bit of weakness to him to be like, oh, I want to go there because I feel sad that my friends got killed, and I'm acting on straight, emotion and stuff. Saying something like that may cause Ed and everybody else to sympathize with him, thus making, companions and friends, which is the last thing that he wants. I think, I may be wrong about this, and it may just be a headcanon, but I think Greed is just really afraid to lose people again. As we talked about in the last discussion, he's just afraid, and that's okay. That's completely okay. The artwork for Al being possessed by pride is really, really fucking cool. Like, seeing all the eyes and stuff in Al's like little armor plates and stuff like that, that was amazing. The fight was pretty cool. It wasn't like the flashiest fight we've ever gotten, but the fight was pretty cool. And really the thing with these fights is always to be looking at how they use alchemy, and kind of seeing the strategy behind it. Seeing Edward just turn off all the lights so Pride can't move anymore, because he moves in the shadows, and if you get rid of all the light, you can't, you have all shadows, you can't do anything. He can't do anything anymore. Which there's probably some symbolism in there that we've probably gone over before, that I won't dive too deep into, because I try my best not to have these videos too long. But I will say it is a cool nod to the themes of the show, showing that Pride can't move without light, meaning that Pride only, kind of how Pride only exists because of that circle. Getting rid of everything wouldn't really work, if that is what they're trying to do, which I doubt that's what they're trying to do. I think they're more or less on the subjugation route than the destroy all humans route. Now, Envy kind of was, but I don't think they're with that right now. But like I said, the biggest thing about this episode was seeing how stylized a lot of the things were. Getting the return of Lan Fan and having that red glow to the lightning and stuff, and then seeing her behind or in front of the red. Everything was just so rule of cool in the last couple minutes of this episode. You can't help but to ooh and ah at it. Now, we kind of said in, I think it was the last discussion, where I was guessing that the Promised Day was going to happen on the aligning of planets and stuff, which I guess is kind of right in a way, where we're dealing with an eclipse, which makes more sense. An eclipse makes more sense, because now we're getting into more symbolism with the sun and the moon, and creating creating the circle and shit like that. Things that we've talked about before, which I won't go too deep into, like I said, because we get into that whole conversation and discussion again, that would take another 40 minutes for me to fully flesh out. But we now know that it happens on the eclipse, meaning that it is going to be the antithesis of the power that they currently use, which is what it seems like it has always been. But this is going to be the epitome of the antithesis of the power that they've always used. The plan is still the same. The plan is still to jump into the portal when we find, or not when we find, but when it opens up. But the thing is, I still don't know how we get out. And I still don't know what price we pay to jump into there. There is a lot of tomfoolery that could... tragedy is what is the better word. There's a lot of tragedy that could happen in jumping in that portal. I think lastly, we can probably talk about Grumman, I think his name is. Grumman. I want to trust, like, I feel like I can trust him, right? I feel like I can trust him, but if Miles is right about what Grumman is thinking, and that is, that's just Miles thinking about what he's thinking instead of like what Grumman's actually thinking. But if he's right, we got to get rid of Grumman, because the problem with what is going on right now in this nation is the idea of hierarchy and power. The idea of holding that kind of power is where you get somebody like Father who wants to be a god, and frees himself with power, simply to break out of that flask. I don't know what Grumman would want with that power, what he would want to achieve. If it was just valor, fame, or women, whatever, it doesn't really matter. The point is that if Miles is right, we have to get rid of Grumman, because all that does is create another Bradley, or eventually create another Bradley. Whereas everybody in our camp that is a soldier wants to be tried. They want to atone for the things that they did in the, what do you call it, in the war, the Ishvalan war. That is the main goal for us, other than like saving the world and like making sure this whole Promise Day thing doesn't go as planned. The idea is for everyone who took place in it, and I'm sure that Grumman probably did, everyone that took place in it has to adhere to their crimes, because unfortunately a lot of horrible shit happened in the Ishvalan war, and I don't think we can lose sight of that type of plot point, because that is like one of the most important plot points. So hopefully we don't have to take out Grumman. I don't want to kill Grumman. He is a fellow connoisseur of thick anime bitches, and I don't want to kill that man. That's a brother right there. But if we got to, we will. But this is this is a good progression to the plot, because now that we have the two big dog homunculi in front of us, we could probably get to we need to get Alphonse back, but we could also probably get to Father. I think well, no, it doesn't matter, because once the portal opens, I don't know how big the portal is going to be. I don't know if it'll be localized where Father is, which I think it might be. But if it's just one big portal, like the way that they did Xerxes, and they just jump in it like that, then that's cool. But if we do need to be by Father when it opens, having these two in front of us is probably the best way to do it. That's probably going to net us the most success. So this next episode, I'm hoping that we can actually maybe put Pride down. I don't know if we can. I'm hoping that we can, but I'm not 100% sure. I believe in us defeating Gluttony, because we've done it before, but Pride's a different story. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do. But great episode. Really excited that Lan Fan's finally back, because Lan Fan is hard. She go hard in the paint. So great episode. I'm kind of afraid of what happens next, because we're still in the, we still have pride around. I don't care how incapacitated he is the strongest homunculus, so I expect him to have a couple tricks up his sleeve. But let's see. We'll see. Oh, also, I believe it sounded like, real quick, it sounded like Hohenheim plans on being with his wife again. Tomorrow seems like he's like planning to do what he has to do and finally be beside his wife like he wanted to. Because ultimately I think Hohenheim does want to die. I think that is Hohenheim's like main goal, is to stop this whole Promise Day thing, and then he also wants to die, which is fair. It sounds weird to say, but I think Hohenheim deserves to die. He's lived long enough, and I don't think he wants to live any longer. So we'll see what happens next. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood or something totally different, the best place to send that in is always my social media. Link's going to be in the description below. And if you want these episodes early, subscribe to my Patreon. Link's going to be in the description below for that as well. We also have the full length reaction to these episodes. So with all that being said, with all that being said, let me get my off button ready. There we go. You all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.